There's been no preparation because I literally just arrived. But I have the experience from last year, just playing one practice and then going to the match, so I'm not worried about that. Well, there's not much peaceful time, I would say, because there's always something going on. The tour is really intense, so I just try to catch every moment where I have some peace, or I'm staying in one place for a longer time to to find a balance. But overall, I think pretty well. When I came to Doha, I was thinking a little bit about that, and it got my expectations a little bit higher and the pressure a little bit higher. So I'm happy that during the time I played, I could focus on the right things and really get the work done. And after it happened, it was just surreal and amazing. So well, last year was fine. From what I remember, the surface was a little bit faster, but honestly, that's the only year I remember, because the year before I lost against Muguruza, it was a fast match, so I don't remember a lot. And I wouldn't say the weather conditions are different. Probably it's less humid in the evening, but I don't think it matters, honestly. Because of the rules that we have right now, everything is mandatory for us. The tournaments are going to be, packed, and you're not going to get an easy draws or anything. So you just have to be ready. And if you want to win a tournament, you got to win against the best in the world anyway. So, I don't think there's a huge difference between this tournament and the others. So I'm just going to take it easy, step by step, and we'll see how it's going to look like after a couple of days. I'll just focus on the first match. But I mean, the pressure is always there, as part of the job, so I wouldn't say it's bigger, or that's the place I'm in my career, and I have no comparison to any other place, so I can't say if the pressure is high or low. It's there because it's always there in sports, and I'm dealing with it fine, so I guess it's okay.
You mentioned that it's a short turnaround time, right, from Doha to Dubai. Does it run at the back of your mind how quickly you have to recover, maybe get some rest, and are you sometimes thinking there's a possibility of injury as well, given how short the time span is?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it feels like we have to kind of rush it a little bit, but honestly, last year it was similar. Even though Doha was a smaller tournament and one match less, I was able to manage. I think that was the second time after also Indian was Miami, where I didn't have much time to recover, and I just played another tournament straight away. So there's always possibility for injury, but there's no point in professional sports to overthink it or try to see the future, because I'm well prepared physically, and yeah, well, it also depends what the intensity of the matches will be, because in Doha I would say the final was pretty intense, but the other matches I had under control, so it's not like I played 3 setters. It's a different year. I feel differently. A lot has happened since, so it's a different tournament, and no reason to come back to what happened last year. I would say I'm doing a good job separating that. I don't use really social media during the tournaments. I just post my stuff and that's all. But for sure, when I go on social media, when I'm not playing tournaments, it can distract a person. And I would say also when you start, having successes, it's easy to focus on the business part of the sport and forget what you are actually here to do, and about the work that you should put. I remember, after I won my first Roland Garros, 2 months, I really was going, the wrong path. I wasn't really the practices weren't the priority in my schedule, in my head, So I remember my team had to kind of push me right back on the right path, and I think social media and internet can distract you, and this business side of sport, if you don't balance it well.
I wanted to follow up on the previous reply you gave about intensity in the game. 2 of your, say, competitors, for example, Elena Rybakina and Sabalenka. What's the difference when you face against each of them?
Well, their game, they're playing differently, and that's the main difference you focus on when you go on a match, because you have your tactics and everything, and you have to be ready. And that's all I would say, because they are both really, proactive players, really intense. So you have to really be on your toes and ready, and not really let them play their game, because they're going to use it. So they're really good, both of them. And as you can see, like, we all have pretty tight matches against each other. So I feel like the level is pretty high and it's good. So I wouldn't say that there's much difference in terms of the mindset or the focus when I play against each of them.